Welcome back to Kings of the Storm 2. We just had game 1 of Vexx versus Glorious, and we're getting ready to jump into game 2. And you know what? Without further ado, let's just jump right on into the lobby here.
All right. So we are going to be on Curse Hollow this time. So a different map every game thus far. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. Glorious is actually going to be the first ban of this game. And we do see that they have already banned out Tychus. So certainly a strong pick, especially on Curse Hollow. Grenades can stop tributes all the time. There's so many tiny little areas that, I mean, one grenade can offset you and just ruin your day. So great idea there, and it'll be interesting to see what Vexx decides to respond with in terms of a ban.
I mean, yeah, we've seen early bans and picks on Tychus, Tassadar, Stitches, and Arthas. Those are kind of the characters that we always see really quick, either for the early pick or ban. So not a big surprise there. Again, very well-rounded character. Can't be too shocked.
I would imagine that we're going to be seeing a Stitches ban, because we are on Cursed Hollow. There's a lot of places you can trap people with hooks, and we do have Glaurung.
We do, in fact, have Glaurung. Now, this is Cursed Hollow. What do you think we're going to see in terms of like this map? Do you think we're going to see any kind of like crazy high mobility compositions? Do you think we're going to see Stitches for some cheeky plays? Because there's a lot of places where you can get the hook on Stitches, and if we don't see a hook on Stitches, it's pretty much a guaranteed pick. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, if we don't see Stitches get banned, I would be very surprised to not see him get picked up very quickly on one of the team's first pick.
Glaurung had the Zeratul, so Glaurung now has Stitches open for him, and on Cursed Hollow,
and they have first pick.
They have first pick, so I would
it's very interesting if they don't pick Stitches first. And for me, on this map, there's... Oh, they picked Tassadar. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, Tassadar is great. Again, same kind of idea in terms of tributes. He can stall extremely well. He can just throw Psy Storms like it's nothing. Doesn't matter. He can clear waves if they get cursed. It's a great idea. Or if they get to curse an enemy team, he can clear a wave and with literally no effort. So that's pretty cool. And on this map, there's two major ways that it seems to be played. Either you go for a high sustain comp, so that you can be in those fights and those tributes and elongate them and just win by chipping people away, or you play not necessarily a full PvE comp, but a comp that allows you to pressure the map while tributes are happening. So you can take a mercenary camp and put that merc into the lane and then go to the tribute. So even if you don't necessarily win the tribute fight, you have something else going on around the map. And that's something that I've seen a couple times. Granted, we don't have the ability, or until now, we haven't had the ability to say, you know what, you're playing on this map. So pretty much all previous knowledge until now it's based on like semi-speculation.
This is very true.
We haven't seen any actual empirical like, okay, well we picked this comp and then we did it because of this map, because they kind of just sort of lucked into the map. So it's very interesting to see how this meta basically starts to evolve.
Well, I mean, if I'm Vexx Gaming, do I want to pick up Stitches to keep it away from Glorious? They're thinking pretty hard about this right now.
It's a tough call. I mean, Stitches on Curse Hollow is extremely good. I don't think anyone would doubt that. I mean, Stitches in general is extremely good.
Yes.
We've seen him banned or picked every game so far. And now it comes down to if you think, and I see the picks, but it comes down to if you think your team is good enough to run with the Stitches. If you're coordinated enough to get the pick and then also follow up on it. That's the biggest part about Stitches. You can always get the pick. That's great. But if you can't get the kill after it, there's not that much of a reason to pick him. But we do see that Vala and Uther are coming out, so great heroes in terms of tribute fights. I mean, Uther will keep you sustained forever. Vala will be able to poke. She can do all kinds of ranged attacks. If she does take Vampiric Assault, and if she really wants to, she can go Tempered by Discipline and keep herself alive, forever in fights. And we still haven't seen a Stitches. We see ZP picking up Arthas and Tyrael. Now that alone is insanely strong.
Yes.
We've seen it before. We're seeing it again. You pick someone, you lock them down, and they don't leave. So what they might be thinking is, you know what? We'll just pop Oracle. We'll see where they are, and then we'll determine if it's a good fight or not when they go for tribute.
I mean, this is a very, very sustained, but also like they have the initiation, and when they want it, they can pick and choose their fights, like you said. Having Oracle and having the judgment on Uther, or excuse me, Tyrael, and just Arthas in general is amazing. He's just amazing. He's just really, really just, you can already see what they're going for here.
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to be playing this to kind of get picks and wait outside of certain areas, catch people in transition, it's super scary. I don't see any way that they're not going to be able to get at least 1 to 2 picks in this game, just because Cursed Hollow is so mobile. And the 2 people that Vexx has right now, not necessarily the tankiest. Like, Uther can keep himself up through heals, but if he's stunned out and locked down, it doesn't really matter. So, very interesting to see there. And it's not unlikely that we won't see an Arthas roam with someone else. Tyrael is so good in lane, a lot of people opt to not really roam with him, just because he can bully so many people. He can just smite you and shield and walk away. And it's like, oh, what are you going to do about it? So we'll see what happens there. Tassadar, also fantastic in lane, can just bully people the same way. He just throws side storms. You want to trade with him, he'll shield up. After his shield breaks, he'll just E away. So if you try to trade with him, you better have some kind of sustain. It's very, very interesting ideas, and I would imagine that Glaurung is going to be picking up, or not Glaurung, sorry, Glorious is going to be picking up at least 2 very, very high damage dealing characters. Maybe a Nova, we might see it. Zeratil's banned out. We haven't seen Raynor in a long time, and I'm not too sure that Glorious actually likes him. It might happen, but Falstead's still on the table. I wouldn't be too surprised to see Falstead get picked up by Vexx, but they're a little bit too squishy at that point, in my opinion, because of how much stuff is going back onto them. We could see a Rhaegar. If we see a Rhaegar with this comp, a Bloodlust going in on that, you have Archon, you have
Hard
Tyrael,
Initiation, Bloodlust.
Like, it's just, they go for a tribute, wipe them.
Yes.
We could see that.
I'm actually really thinking that's what we will see. I'd be shocked if Vexx has to know that's an option. They have to look at this and see, all right, can we make Rhaegar work in our comp to take it away from them, or do we have to find something that will work against that? Because they have to be thinking that's a big option here for Glorious.
Yeah, I mean, so if Glorious does go ahead with the Rhaegar, and let's assume that they're also gonna pick Bloodlust, who would you put for that? Who would you put with that? Would you put a high damage dealer? Like, what would you do?
You know what? I'm crazy, but I would like to see an Illidan played. I actually think Illidan Rhaegar is a really, really incredibly strong pair. And Illidan is not a commonly played character. A lot of people consider Illidan to be one of the lesser heroes in the game, but he's really strong, and especially when you already have somebody like Tyrael, you can then hunt in as well. You get that double hard initiation with a Bloodlust. You can really just delete someone from the fight immediately, and then Illidan can kind of back off and then go back in to clean up whatever's left.
Illidan is certainly one of the characters in the game where, as the fight goes on, if he stays alive and others on the other team start dying, he seems to just exponentially increase in threat. But at the same time, we do see that Vexx has picked up Stitches and Sonya. Would you still pick an Illidan into this?
You know what? When you have to worry about a Sonya and then somebody as big as Stitches with the hook to pull you out, I don't know if I would. I mean,
additionally, when you try to fight Stitches as Illidan, every time you auto, you're going to get Bile under you.
Yes. So, honestly, there's still a lot of other characters that are options to go with Rhaegar, so this doesn't nix the pick of Rhaegar by any means. I mean, Rhaegar is still going to be...
Falstead's still open.
Yes, he is, absolutely, and I think we could very well see that happen. We'll see in just a moment here, but Illidan, don't think he's going to be seen today.
Rhaegar,
Sorry, Trickslayer.
Rhaegar and
yes.
Raynor. So I was a little bit wrong. I mean, I should have assumed, because Nick is playing. Nick does play a crazy amount of Raynor. He loves that character.
I didn't know he had a blonde skin.
It's new. I think that's the Commander Raynor skin, and it's the second tint, I believe.
No facial hair and blonde, or is his hair... anyways.
No, either way. So what's happening? So likely we're going to be seeing a Bloodlust build here, because we do have Inspire from Raynor. We will have Archon from... I'm guessing we're going to have Archon.
Yes. We are absolutely
almost
going
100%
to see Archon.
We'll have Archon.
And Bloodlust.
And then, Bloodlust. I mean, Tyrael and Arthas, not awful with Bloodlust. I mean, their base damages in general, they are melee. They do well. And oh my goodness, a Tyrande.
Tyrande.
I understand it.
Yes,
I understand it.
Especially on this map. Knowing what map you're going into.
Right. I get the pick, but it's... I don't want to say it's risky, but it's an extremely high skill-based pick. So a lot of people, granted, so there's two ways to play this. A lot of people will play Tyrande with Stitches because if the hook happens and you can lock down the stun,
Hunter's Mark.
then you Hunter's Mark, and then you just burst them.
They're gone.
And you have an Uther to keep them in place. So it could go, and this is the quote-unquote wombo, if we want to call it that. It could go Stitches hook into Uther stun, into Tyrande stun, and a Hunter's Mark happens in between there. The question is, do they have enough burst to take it down afterwards? They do have Sonya, so they will have the slam. They do have Vala, who has a sizable amount of burst, not anywhere near the level of like a Nova, Zeratul, or any of those people, but she's a high damage dealer, and it's very very interesting to see this happening.
The thing with Tyrande that we're going to see happen in this match is Tyrande is kind of a late game hero when it comes to her damage. Like, she has the utility, she has Hunter's Mark, and she has all that stuff pretty early in the game, but her personal damage with the Sentinel ability doesn't really pan out till later in the game. Now, it actually becomes pretty dangerous, especially on this map where it's pretty easy to get that vision, know where your enemies are. You have the scouting with it in the earlier versions of the game, which is phenomenal for sure. But we're going to start the game up right here. All the players are ready, and we're going to go on into Cursed Hollow for Game 2 between Vexx Gaming and Glorious Gaming.
It's going to be exciting. I think this will be possibly the most exciting game that we've seen today. There's definitely a lot of things that can happen that are super situational, and I'm really looking forward to see how the teams approach this map, because as we said before, when tributes spawn, if you have something on the map for pressure, it's fantastic, especially if you can get, say, a giant camp and it's on bottom lane and the tributes spawn top. If you have those giants pushing bottom lane and you can extend the fight up top, then they're going to do an insane amount of work after you hit level 10. If that happens, then you've already have a broken gate. You can just dive through a fort. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff on this map, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, yeah, I'm glad we're seeing different heroes, too. These are very different compositions that we've seen in previous games. I mean, Tyrande, Raynor, really mixing it up. We've yet to see a Barbarian as well. So it's going to be a good match, and I love Cursed Hollow. Cursed Hollow is a very diverse map where it's all about decision-making. Not that other maps aren't about decision-making, but you can really... I mean, if you don't know how to play this map, you're just going to get rolled, because having the Curse gives you that push in all the lanes. And I'm actually a little surprised we're not seeing too many crazy mobility characters. Brightwing is actually, when I play this map personally, Brightwing's my go-to. She's
just everywhere.
Well, she's everywhere, and she has so much sustain. And sustain is actually like the name of the game with this map. So I'm actually quite surprised.
One of the names of the game.
Well, yes, it's very true. There are many names of this map, but we're seeing everybody just kind of feeling each other out. Tyrande is searching around with her Sentinel. She actually got eyes on both Soma and ZP, so they know they're kind of trying to camp out here. And we're going to see them actually rotate up, saying, look, yeah, you saw us, but now when it wears off, we're going to be shifting into the top lane to see what we can do. But Icebox?
He's trying to get a horseshoe hook.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's going to happen. Syracuse is not actually really possible to get it on, because he'll just
oh my gosh.
Sage actually going to get dropped very, very early in the game. What even happened there? Oh, the pick happened.
The nice hook here by Stitches. Soma will actually get out, though. Nice job by ZP's floating up the body block, and we're seeing the healing ward go down to heal up right quick.
All kinds of goodies. And in this lane, I gave this lane to Tyrael 9 times out of 10. Like, he smites, he shields, and you have to deal with it. Blitz actually getting caught out in mid. A lot of damage will go down. Not sure if the kill will actually be able to happen yet. Once ZP picks up, which what I'm going to guess is almost definitely going to happen, in Venom he'll be able to do a lot of damage. And look at this jump down bottom. Icebox tries for it, doesn't actually land the hook, so nothing happened there. And it does look like we have the Tyrande and Stitches roam. They are doing that with Vexx, so it'll be interesting to see. Rhaegar actually does get seen on the Giants. It has been pinged out, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do anything. Okay, so Stitches and pretty much 3 members of Vexx are rotating up top, trying to get this going. They will actually get there, aggressive. But
yeah, it's very
smartly,
aggressive.
no, smartly done by Glorious. They actually backed up and went into Fog of War to reset the health bars. If they hadn't done that, they could have stolen it very easily, and there's really not all that much that could have been done there. So they made a great call to back up and say, you know what, let's just play it safe, let's not give them anything, and wait it out. Glorious already winning the experience battle here, just barely. With that first blood, they were able to edge out the competition, and we do see that ZP has picked up a Venom. So Arthas, he's gonna hit real hard. Just keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, I mean, very, very dangerous as Arthas. for sure. But getting the nice hawk here, dismounting ZPs. Of course, you can't dismount Rhaegar, but we have the initiation here. And Syracuse got locked down, but he's going to be able to back up. I mean, it is Tassadar. He doesn't die too easily. But we have actually Glorious coming from every angle right now. And Icebox is actually just going to try to cap it, but it's not going to be enough. A nice hook on ZPs. But, oh, very, very nice float down from Sage coming in from the bottom lane, pressuring them out.
Yeah, we do see that massive fight's going down. Double healing ward going down, trying to keep Glaurung alive. He is going to be barely able to survive. Looks like he's standing right in the middle of that Venn diagram. Will he be able to get out? He actually stays alive, and oh my goodness.
I mean, really, we just have a lot of sustainability here when you have both Tassadar and Rhaegar. Rhaegar has the healing totem, which gives them that 3% per second on everyone in your party. And if you don't delete that totem quickly, that's just a lot of health you have to worry about. Shields from Tassadar, and they have two massively tanky heroes. So they were able to just out-sustain in that fight. I mean, it wasn't a bad initiation by any means for Vexx. It's just the sustainability really paying off for Glorious in that fight there.
I want to give huge props to Glorious for that. I mean, the healing ward placement alone was great, but Glaurung's heads up decision to stand in between where he needed to keep himself alive was fantastic. That was really, really well done. And now we're seeing Vexx on the back foot. They're already a full level down, and a little bit
more than a level. 1.5
once Knight's cap too, they're going to actually get a pretty sizable chunk of experience. So we're looking at a potential, I don't want to say steamroll, but it could happen.
I mean, getting level 10.
Curse is very snowbally. Yes. If you get a curse and you're level 10 already by the first curse, bad things happen.
I mean, we're going to see that happen for sure here because the second tribute hasn't even spawned yet. And Glissa, that was a nice hook by S-Box to get them away from Glissa. Glissa probably would have lived. I mean, it is Uther after all. But the tribute is up, and we're going to see a full initiation here. Having the 1.5 level lead here for Glorious is going to make them be able to pressure pretty hard. Now, there isn't a talent advantage, so that's one thing that is definitely going in favor of Vexx Gaming at this point, but they have the Knights pressuring the mid lane, and they're really deciding to just grab their Knights and let it go. They're saying, look, we can't take this. But the thing is, the problem with this is they actually have to worry about the third tribute when level 10 is on Glorious, but they don't have level 10. That's going to happen at this point.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure that I agree with giving that up. Glaurung hadn't fully rotated down bottom, but at the same time, it would have been very, very hard for Vala to rotate out of top lane because Glaurung could have just stuck on her. So I understand why they didn't want to do that because they didn't have a main DPSer there. But at the same time, letting that go, as you said, the next one is almost assuredly going to be coming up when they're level 10. Glaurung goes in.
The wall is down. They see the opportunity here on Vala and Venom, and she is going to be removed, putting them so very close to level 10. They're going to be level 10 well before the tribute. And Vexx is not going to be too far off. I mean, they'll be level 9 at that point. But they're honestly, like, initiating on a team that has heroics when you do not is incredibly difficult, and giving up the tribute, wow, this is an interesting choice by Glorious.
They're level 10. They can do it. They have Bloodlust there. They have Rainer's not there, but they have Bloodlust. They have Judgment. They have Army of the Dead. They have Archon. The Judgment comes out. Organized Phase. Oh man, he's just gonna get dropped.
I mean, they almost just use the Golem saying, hey, if you're going to give this up, we're going to take it. If you're not going to give it up, we can use this initiation here. The Bloodlust goes down. The Archon goes down. Every single member of Vexx is going to fall here. Crexus, you're in a bad spot. Nice tumble out of the root there. And they're just going to turn right onto the goal.
You know what the worst part about this is? Vexx just lost that fight. Great. That's too bad. Look at the tribute placement.
It couldn't be worse. It's so convenient. They're getting a Golem. They got a team fight and a tribute, which is going to give them the curse, pushing every single lane. Now, if you're Glorious, do you push immediately with the Golem, or do you fall back and grab Mercenary Camps?
I would say you fall back and you push a separate lane. This Golem is going to do a crazy amount of damage to everything. It's not going to matter. If you want to push bottom, if you want to push mid, you can do that very easily. They obviously see that everyone on that team responded by going up top, and the biggest thing is that Grave Golem will act as kind of a magnet for the enemy team. A lot of people will feel like they have to respond to it, so you're almost guaranteed to be somewhere else. You can just go do whatever you want. Your creeps are going to be pushing anyways. They'll be knocking down forts left and right. They'll be doing a ton of damage. Granted, Vexx did decide to put at least one person not in top lane, so they have Barb clearing out mid. Those creeps aren't going to be getting to the tower. They'll be able to stop that, but there is going to be a sizable wave on bottom. You see there's two here, and they'll be able to just crush through this fort.
I mean, Vexx is floating down. They're floating down to contest. But
Except for
they
Stitches, though.
have heroics. Yeah, Stitches is staying. We do actually see Icebox staying in the top lane to clean up, try to keep that fort alive as long as they can, as the minions with the curse would push it down. They're going to get the bottom fort, and Vexx is just kind of posturing defensively. Now, I'm surprised Icebox is not floating down because they do have heroics. They probably could take a fight here.
And you see the Giants just came up on bottom as well. So now they have a massive push going. Granted, the Tyrande Shadowsock did just come out, so they can see where Glorious is. Glorious doesn't know where Stitches is because he just backed, so they're not sure if he's coming back here or where he's going. They're playing it a little safe, but Glissa actually goes ahead
my
and
gosh,
gets really
out of position, but actually going to get out of here. I mean, that was actually really risky stepping back.
Storm,
Yes, it's very true.
So
Heroic is down on Divine Storm, and every other Heroic is up for Glorious at this point in the game. The Bloodlust is there. We're seeing a hard initiation. Every Heroic is going down for Glorious. They're saying, look, we can take this fort. We can mow you guys down and get this hard lead. And they're going to try to end the game with this push. They're going to plow through this. The Golem is still alive. And Crexus is going to back up, heal up. But honestly, we have 15 seconds.
I'm not sure if they can end the game, but they can put a crazy amount of damage.
They can pressure. Now, do you think they should just fall back, grab the Giants, and grab their Knights, which just now popped up? Or should they try to pressure? Yes, they're going for
I think they should
the
put
pressure.
as much damage on as they can. It doesn't actually matter if they die right now. Normally, in late game, if you die very... Oh, actually, they might get this.
Wow.
They're actually able to do this.
Oh, that's, I mean, a 8-minute,
Okay.
53-second win for Game 2. 2-0ing Vexx Gaming. Pretty dominant decision-making in play that entire series.
Yeah. Okay, well, I guess they'll just shut me up in the middle of my speech. So that's fine. That's cool. And I'm okay with that. That was a great call. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to take that out. And what I was saying was, a lot of times people will say, you know what, okay, let's just damage the core, and then we'll fall back, and if we die, we die, whatever. We can just go in and suicide it, and we'll win the game. That's fine. You can just bomb through it, you're good. There, they didn't even have to. They just went for it, they did everything, and they had enough damage to take it out. So there you have it. Congratulations to Glorious for advancing. Thank you to Vexx for playing. See you next time.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the bracket. I mean, we'll have some updates in a moment, but we're going to see that Glorious will actually advance into the semifinals on the right side of the bracket. They'll be playing either Team or Snowflake and Team Aludo. On the other side, we will have the results of Clairvoyant, Snakebite, and...
It's already done.
Okay.
I can go through this.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Good. Singularity Blue did win their match, so they're playing Symbiote right now. Clairvoyant did win their match, so they're playing GGBB right now. I don't have updates on those games just yet. It should be coming in very soon. And I know that Snowflake and Aludo are also playing right now. So we'll be getting into the third round of the tournament very soon. The best of three should be ending within the next 15 to 20 minutes, I would imagine. So we'll have at least one game to play very soon.
Right, so it's going to be a little bit of a break right now, but at that point, once we hit the semifinals, it's going to be pretty much go, go, go. We're just going to have to set up the lobbies because we are going to cast both semifinals and the grand finals here of the Kings of the Storm to bracket. But until we return, we're going to be taking a quick break for the other matches that are happening off the broadcast. And we will be back as soon as possible, guys. Thanks for taking care, or thanks for
taking care of the tournament for us.
Just lost all words.
You guys are the best.
Thanks for sticking with us, is what I wanted to say. So,
Close
guys,
enough.
yeah, jumbling words.
It's all right. It's a good time.
It's a good time. We'll be right back.